Hello everyone, so this is, I should probably keep number, this is vlog number 4, I think, showing you a few of the things that we've been doing over the course of the last week. And because I hate hearing myself monologue on for about 20 minutes, I have decided to invite my friend Si along. Say hi, Si.
Hi, Si.
So I say invite him along. He's at the other end of the country, but he is British, as you can probably tell from his accent. Si has been a great motivation during this project, and is actually sort of partly responsible for some of the publicity. So I kind of hold that against him. But I thought I'd actually talk to somebody about the features, and hopefully he'll ask some of the questions that people on YouTube end up asking. Just so you're also aware, currently Frap says it's running at 15 frames a second. So if it runs a bit jerky this week, it's the way I'm doing it. I think the first thing, while I'm on this screen, is now each version of the game will actually have a what's new. So you'll actually be able to see a what's new. And so instead of people going, hey, what did you add in this last version, it will actually list all the things from the previous version, so you can go back. So here are a few things that I'll be going over today. Saw the teleporters last week. You've seen split screen already. You've seen the distortion already. You've seen quick select already. But the main things I'm going to go over are the hunt mode and the custom landscape stuff. So custom landscape is quite cool. So first of all, you can now tweak a whole bunch of options. So the one that everybody has been asking for is flatland. So flatland is now in. So if we create a flatland world, and we go in. Oh, frame rate is definitely down when we're transmitting Skype. So, but as you can see, it is a perfectly flat land. So if you are just here and you want to create crazy ass landscapes, this is the way you can do it. So you can just start off with a nice flat land. So that's cool. That's in. There's a guy written a tool to actually do this, believe it or not. So that's all there. But also, my favourite one, and hopefully I can show this off appropriately, is island mode. So an island mode, what it is normally, you got the map, and it's just got landscape to the edges. Now, at the edge of it, well, it isn't water currently, but it will be water. So that's the problem with cutting edge builds. It's a little bit unstable. So if I just fly towards the edge of the world, here, so you can see that in island mode, the landscape drops down around the edges. This it gives a very different feel to the game. As you can see, it's quite steep, but the island is enormous. It's like 250,000 square kilometers, and as you can see, coming up there just ahead, we've now got naturally generated water. So it's placeholder with the blue canvas, because I can't actually spawn the water yet, but that's planned, certainly for 1.5, if not 1.1. Cannon flying, so hopefully we should see, there we go. So you can see at the edge of the island, you actually see it actually looks pretty much like the edge of the island. So this is a new world, so I've just jammed new world and I'm flying out here, so it's not, you can see a few black holes where it's not quite managed to generate the things it should.
It's starting to look like Far Cry.
Well, not quite, but I think I've got the draw distance is improving as well, which is certainly something that's been bugging me for a long time. But the interesting thing about the island generation is this is probably where we'll go with the FortressCraft versus FortressCraft levels, because with those, you take your landscape and you fight against somebody else's landscape. But this means that you'll be on an island, so it'll be island versus island. So you'll end up building bridge out towards the next guy's level. So probably in chapter 4, island mode will be forced on when you're in the combat game mode. So you'll actually build the stuff. But all the landscapes actually generated underneath the water. So you will actually have everything under the water. And my plan is to have water like this, so it actually procedurally generates the water out. Right, so let's see if everything else crashes or works. So one of the other things that people ask me for, and let's see if I can show this off, it's going to be a little bit tricky, is caves. So again, people want caves. Don't know why, a bit of a strange one. The thing that people want more than anything else that I keep getting asked for is trees and caves. Like, trees are exciting or something. Honestly, trees are very boring. I've been in real life. You've seen trees. They're not exciting. I don't know why people want trees so much. So trees are in the code, but not turned on, as they're not quite there yet. Now, as you can see, caves. Now, you probably can't see the caves, but if I press F1, I don't know if you can see that on the video, but underneath the ground are now enormous amounts of caves. This is with the highest cave setting. don't know if I'll be able to go down and show you any caves, because I probably won't be able to find a cave. but it's got a huge amount of caves, and it really, really makes a difference. So when you're digging down towards stuff, you find plenty of caves. So again, that's been requested many, many, many times, and it's now in. But that's not very exciting. So that's the custom server stuff. Now, one of the things that annoys me about Minecraft and about FortressCraft, about Terraria, is the fact that you can't look at the cool stuff. Now, a friend of mine, he made the Parthenon. He made it in Minecraft, and he said that only like 4 people have ever seen it, and the 20 people who've got YouTube, who've seen the YouTube video. So what we've got the ability to do now is you can now vote for a server. Now, when this works, it's pretty much there. It just needs to be sort of finished off. But so what this means now is you can now vote for a server. So you say, I like this server. So a bit like Facebook, you give it a thumbs up. So what this means at the end of the day is that the good servers will be on their own list. So you'll be able to find the really awesome servers. You don't need to go and search YouTube. You don't even need to quit your client. You'll literally just be able to browse the list of servers. So servers will get ranks. The rank goes from it's like unknown, I forgot the name of them, infamous, winning, epic, legendary. So your server will actually earn a rank depending on how many people like your server. I think it's going to be interesting because once that's in, it's been running for a few days. The first thing I'm just going to sit there and just browse all the best servers in the game because there'll be the really awesome ones. But it won't be just like it is on YouTube. You won't just be watching it. You'll actually be able to go in and go around it. And I'm really looking forward to that because it should be really quite cool.
Is there going to be something to prevent it getting stale, like with the same ones at the top of the list all the time, like a reset or a rolling average?
Well, what we've done is we split it into 7 tiers, and it's a logarithmic scale. So to get into the first tier requires 100 votes, which I reckon lots of servers will do. To get into the next tier requires 1,000 votes. To get into the next tier requires 10,000 votes. A lot of the problem is we don't really have any clue how many people are playing the game. We only know how many copies we've sold. So it might be that 100 votes is a lot of votes. Or it might be that 100,000 votes is a lot of votes. So we actually don't quite know. But the idea is that there is a whole bunch of leaderboards. There's not just one. So if you don't get into one leaderboard, you should get into the next one. Very realistically speaking, there'll be because when I queried the servers from Microsoft, they only returned me the first 25 servers in the list. So, and they returned me basically a random 25 as far as I can tell. So if you've got a popular world and it's got a million votes or whatever, but it's full, it won't even appear on the list. So it'll only show you servers, a random selection of 25 servers on that list that aren't full. So hopefully it should always be showing you stuff you haven't seen before. So you can just sit there and refresh it. And if people create their world, and I assume they'll create it with guests can view, they're going to be full all the time. One thing I can't show you today, unfortunately, the networking's got a lot better. It's a lot smoother. We've had some 8-player games, and they've just been absolutely very, very smooth. So hopefully people can get a lot more players, a lot less lag, and those servers with a high rating should be full all the time.
You were asking on Twitter about how people vote out of 5 stars. So did you decide to go with the sort of binary, just vote yes for the server?
There was a lot of reason for that. So, first of all, how do you vote? When you vote for something, you've got hot or not. Do you actually go, ooh, 3-ish? How do you vote, you personally?
Well, if I take hot or not as an example, it's usually 2 for everything that's bad, because that leaves a little leeway for things that are horrendous.
And I usually go,
and then the same at the other end. So you've got 1 and 2 and 9 and 10, and very little falls in the middle. And I think it's the same with 5-star systems.
So you're a tactical voter then, basically?
No, it's not that. It's just that if you look at, I think the other thing I think of is the ratings on the iPhone App Store are out of 5 stars, and people tend to just give it a rating if they like the thing or if they hate it. And no one really goes out of their way to vote something 50% or average.
Well, that's the problem I've got, is if I like it, it gets 5 stars. And if I don't like it, if it made me vote for it, I'll give it a 1. Otherwise, I won't vote at all. One of the other things that we were aware of was griefing. So, or I say griefing, but the equivalent thereof, stacking the votes. So you only get to vote once per server. You can't multiple vote except over multiple sessions, which doesn't really matter. But one thing we were worried about was neg voting. So you cannot negative vote in any way. You can only say I like this. You cannot say I don't like this. So hopefully that should stop the majority of the sort of the abuse that we were sort of worried about on that. Hopefully, anyway. What should I make my house out of? Red brick. So what else? So we've also got some new relics and a new game mode. Now, game mode hasn't been playtested yet. So the code's all there, but we've not sat down with the playtesters and playtested it. But I'll say it's a fairly straightforward deathmatch, but that's not even true. It's all v1. So the current game mode, and I do stress this is planned to change based after some playtesting over the next week or so, is one person becomes the predator. And I won't be using the phrase predator in the game, as it's probably copyright from 20th Century Fox. But it's basically predator, so you become the predator, and then you have to kill everybody else. The last person who's alive becomes the predator in the next round. And it's pretty much that. I expect there'll be some more gameplay stuff. I'm going to be considering ways of killing the predator. It's quite important to note you can be killed now. Finish off my checkered floor. So, what do you need to become a predator? First thing you need is the Optic Camo. So I've been showing some screenshots of this, but as I was trying to say, screenshots don't really show it off. So I'll go up here so I can get some sort of variety of the text. You can see the axe on the left there, it's gone see-through. So your avatar also goes see-through in a very similar sort of a way. You can see that's here sort of...
As I was saying to you earlier, the whole point of this kind of camouflage is it's hard to see when it's stationary, easier to see when it's moving.
Yeah, so if you go slow, you can't see the gun, but if you move, it's very obvious how the gun is. So the second thing you need is... Oh, I forgot to mention the band hammer. Remember me to come back to the band hammer. So the second thing you need is a set of blades. So you've got a set of blades. They look a little bit like the Predator blades with the 3 blades. Again, you can't quite make out their shape or form there. They're not quite the final... Well, we've only got the blades and not the gloves. And the third one, which is something I'm not sure I can show off, because it's... So if you've seen the film, which I'm sure everyone has seen the Predator film, if you actually kind of watch the film, you'll notice that the Predator is actually kind of blind. He can see other people through his heat vision, but he actually can't see much of the world. So we turn the thermal imager on. It didn't work. Well, that's amazing. Why didn't the thermal imager work? It was working a minute ago. Do I have to have Bloom on for thermal imaging to work? It was working a minute ago. I showed it and everything. Well, I'll have to come back to them in a minute. I'm not sure why it's not working. I just try to switch this on. No. Okay, well, I can't show you the thermal imager. I'll have to do that in another video at some point. But yeah, it actually, as you see, creative is now a game mode. You can switch to and from the creative mode. It might be that I need to pick up the relic. It might just be that simple. I'll see if I can find the relic for it. This is the thing about doing, you said, cutting edge. I mean, everything has just been added and implemented. Most things sort of work, but it hasn't had the sort of the real going over that you need. Thermal imaging helmet. Now can I turn thermal imager on? I've absolutely no idea why that's not working. Well, that makes me sad. It was working. I even tested it. Oh, well, okay, so you've got the thermal imager, and it makes the avatars glow, so you can see them through walls. It shows them off in quite a nice sort of a way. But the actual world is quite difficult to see. So you with the left trigger, you actually flip through the different vision modes a bit like the Predator. If you played the AVP game, you could see thermal, or you could see landscape, or you could watch aliens, or you look for other predators, depending on what game mode you were in. I'll just quit and go back in, see if it was just being annoying. But pretty much that's the majority of what we've been doing. So we actually have a new game mode. We actually have a bunch of relics, but the code, I mean, the game mode is not right. It's not going to be like world-breaking gameplay or anything like that. But the point of that is I've had to write all of the code to come in and out of all the game modes, so that now all works. I noticed I've got 2 begin the hunt game modes. Brilliant. I'm annoyed. That was working fine. I might even just cancel the video and come back and do this in a minute. But yeah, so I mean, all of that code's been rewritten now. So you can now, as well as switching weapons, you can switch game modes. As been requested, we've also got this weapon. So when you have this weapon selected here, your avatar has nothing in your hand. So some of the machinima makers have asked me, can we please have nothing in the guy's hand? So that's now an option. Pretty much that's it. If the video doesn't end at this point, I worked out what was wrong with the thermal imaging, and then we'll carry on. But if not, that's pretty much everything for this week. Performance.
Wait. I have a question.
Yeah, sure, shoot.
Okay, so it looked to me like the matrix blocks have shrunk a bit. Am I imagining it? They seem to have gaps around them now.
They've always had little tiny gaps around them.
Okay, and my second question is, did you forget to talk about the banhammer?
I did forget to talk about the banhammer. Let's talk about the banhammer. So, let's look at the banhammer. Let's see if I've actually managed to make the banhammer graphic work now. So, where is the banhammer gone? For some reason, it's down. I can't see the banhammer. This is the banhammer now. It's gone invisible. It was there a moment ago. So, the banhammer is quite fun, actually. One of the other things I've added this week, and it's kind of boring, is you can now change the permissions for clients in the game. I'm probably also going to be adding in the menu system, so you can just select a player and then just kick them from the menu. We've also got the banhammer. So when you select the banhammer, the two triggers, the left trigger freezes. Oh, the first thing is you get like quadruple speed, so you'll be able to just run around. The second thing that happens, if you click the left trigger, then everybody in the world gets frozen. So if anyone's deciding to just run away from you, they can't do it. So you've got complete control over everybody in your world. You can freeze them all up. And if you click the right trigger, then you'll whack anybody who's in front of you. So you can see that. This is the work in progress. It's a big hammer. It's got some weird behavior going on, as you can see. It's not lining itself up with the screen properly. Don't know why. I'll fix it. Don't worry. I always fix stuff eventually. So we've actually got it, but we've tried to keep the banhammer and things like that. Try and keep them in game. So although it's a lot simpler to go and kick someone from a menu, it's gonna be a lot more satisfying. There's some little annoying kid griefing you in your world, just to freeze him and run over him and just smack him and kick him out of the world.
Straight out of Snow Crash. You need a sword.
Not quite. I mean, we've gone with the whole sort of modern meme. So it says banhammer on this side of it, and on the other side of it says "You mad, bro." So we're sort of trying to keep the whole meme thing going there. But it's quite funny because I keep up with memes and I know about them, but it's amazing the amount of people that don't, and you'll get people going, "Why does it say you mad, bro?" I don't get it. I'm sure I'll get loads of those. I get a lot of very interesting emails about people who don't get stuff. One
thing FortressCraft is quite a big experiment in the gap between Xbox community and online web community, because there is a gap.
Yeah, I mean the weird thing was, we get the peer reviews, and the peer reviews are very, very, very much about finding crashes in the game and bugs and things. And what I found is that people don't care. And more importantly, we got the crash handler. So if it does crash, it brings up a helpful error message, tells you where it crashed, and it said, "Oops, we accidentally the whole Xbox." We just get people emailing us going, "Oh, I've got one of those code 4s again. Is it because some guy was in my world doing this and it made me happen?" And I was like, "What?" Because code 4 is literally the Xbox crash. And I was like, no, but they were fully under the impression that it was part of the game. Literally, They thought that
and that there was a word missing from the error message.
Well, yes, that was on purpose.
Yes, I know. I know that now. I didn't know the first time. You had to explain that to me. But then that's your point, isn't it, about memes?
Yeah, but say what's happening is the Xbox community, the indie community is very, very keen on no crashes, where game players, they don't care. They even know about it. They've played Call of Duty. They know it. They just call it glitches. I call them bugs. People say, "Oh, I found this glitch." And they'll talk about the glitch. They're not like angry. They're not demanding their money back or saying, "Oh, I'd never play these games that crash" or whatever. They just, "Oh, I found a glitch."
Well, especially if it's one they can exploit, they get upset when you fix it.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think Red Dead may have paved the way for this. I don't know if you played Red Dead before it got patched, but you got like ladies spawning with donkey heads and all sorts of weird things happening, or the woman would spawn, but she'd use the bones and the animation from a horse, so you get like a human person contorted into a horse. It was horrifying, really. But again, people weren't going, there's a bug in the game, I want my money back. People understand these days that software is never bug free. I mean, only the simplest of software is bug free. So FortressCraft is pretty good. Since the last patch, we've had like 30 bug reports, something like that. It's it's quite calm there. We should have been
Just
timing
before you
this.
finish,
Yeah.
sorry, before you finish, can you just talk about the backgrounds in case you didn't speak about them before?
I did. I'm sure I did last week, but I'll show you. So you've probably noticed I've been out to the menu a few times. So now each time you get to the menu, you get a different picture. These have been submitted by the community. If you want your picture and you've got a really good, high-quality picture of something you've created, send it to me, info@fortresscraft.com, and I will see about getting it in the game. As long as it's cool and as long as it's not illegal. So I'm afraid I will not be putting Pikachu there, no matter how many times people send me pictures of Pikachu. I'd love to, but no Mega Man, no Pikachu.
I'm sorry, we cannot return your pictures.
But we do look at them all.
Yes.
Yeah, so if I quit out again, you'll notice that we should have a different picture. You can see different pictures every time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let us know what you think. Should we do the two-person thing again? Do you really hate Sai? In fact, should Sai do it? I keep quiet. I mean, you never know.
No.
Well, people want all sorts of crazy. I can just send you a copy of the game, and you can just do all the talking, and I can just retire. So yeah, so that's where we are. There should be more videos coming up, more features, but pretty much every feature for 1.1 is now done. Or at least started, so it works in some form or other. What we haven't done is say we've got to do some stability stuff, we've got to do some bug fixes, and we've got to fix up a bunch of things. But overall, it's there, it's pretty much ready. I'm not going to say when, because every time I say when something's coming out, people just have a go at me when I get it wrong. So soonish, soon enough. So yeah, there we go. And if the video carries on now, I got the thermal imaging working, and I'll take you through it quickly. But otherwise, thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
I like it a lot.
So hopefully it's going to go wrong. So I decided I did want to show you the thermal imager because it's kind of cool. So thermal imager, there it is. So it's a bit like the Predator film. And again, if you've seen the film, you should know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the film, go and see the film. Great film, one of the best films ever made. Switch the Optic Camo on because it looks cool. So you can see, so in the film, the Predator has to switch between different vision modes. So as you can see there, you cannot see into the distance in that vision mode, but you can in this one, or you can blend between them. And in either mode, objects and players, so obviously I'm on the PC, so I can't show you any avatars, they glow. So I don't know how that looks. I don't know how the encoding is going to cope with it, but it looks really cool on the Xbox, and it looks really cool moving, and avatars look awesome. So you see, as day-night happens, so if we wait for the sun to come up, this mode becomes less and less useful as it just gets far too bright. Sorry, far too warm. Let's think about this. It's swiftly Predator mode, whereas this one's a lot more useful. So you've got like a day mode and a night mode. So it's gonna be interesting to see how people work with that one. But you should have quite a lot of the feel of the Predator game. So the Predator guy will be able to walk around silently, sneak up.
Definitely makes me want to go and hide in cold mud.
Really? Is this related to this, or is it? Maybe actually it's the thing.
Yes, in the film, that's what Arnie does to evade the Predator, isn't it?
Did you see the new Predator, by the way? The new film.
Oh.
It was quite interesting because it was almost shot for shot the first film. But what was interesting is that you're going along for a while and you're watching it, and it keeps taking things from the original, the minigun and all that. And then suddenly, for no reason at all, the hero disappears for about 30 seconds, then turns up completely naked and covered in mud. And we're like, why is he taking all his clothes off and covered himself in mud? He's just done it. It was like he'd nipped off, rented Predator on DVD and gone, that's how I'm going to defeat it. Very bad film. Not recommended at all. I was very disappointed. And I do audio, but the thing that got me more than anything else about that video, about that film, was the fact they didn't do any new music or sound effects. Literally 100%, it was all the original game's sound effects.
That's the sincerest form of flattery, isn't it?
No, it's being cheap. If you've bought the license, you've probably got the license to all the effects. But literally, it used all the same music, which kind of made you feel like you were watching the new film, but with the old film's soundtrack to it. So there you go. There's the thermal imaging, the optic camo, and the blades. So I reckon people have a lot of fun in this game mode. I think it's going to be quite cool. And freeze tag we fix up. So there you go. There's ending number 2. So we've now had 2 endings to the broadcast. So Si, you can say something hilarious now, and then we'll end it.
It is going to be awesome.
That's not hilarious.
It is in my head.
Oh, you have to say something funny. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.